Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be showing you how to add games to your Gamestick Pro or LITE version. This method has been tested on M8 and M15 Gamesticks and it works perfectly. It's almost likely work with any kind of Gamestick. And if you are new to this channel, please like, share and subscribe to get more educational videos like this. So without wasting time, let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do is to download the ROM file of the game you want to add to your Gamestick. For me, I would love to add Contra the Hard Corps. I played it when I was a kid, but the game wasn't included in the Gamestick, so I want to add it manually. After downloading the game, we will also download the picture to use in the Gamestick as well. Note that the picture must be in PNG format. After downloading, plug your Gamestick SD card to your computer. It will appear as unreadable. If it prompts you to format, click No. Do not format your SD card. Before we can do anything on this SD card, we need to make it readable by the computer first. But before that, we need to back up the bootloader of the SD card. This is important because the bootloader will be wiped out by the time the card becomes readable. And without the bootloader, your Gamestick will not boot. So make sure to back up your bootloader before you proceed. To back up your bootloader, open the Gamestick 4K Pro software and run it as administrator. Click on Disk Bootloader. Select your drive letter from the drop-down menu. In my case, it is drive H. Yours might be different, but make sure you select the correct drive letter for your SD card. Click the Browse button and select where to save your backup file. Next, click the Backup button and your bootloader will be backed up. Verify the backup file exists in the location before you proceed. Next, open Disk Genius software. You will see your SD card appear as RAW. Click the Partition Recovery button and click Start. Your partition will now be visible on the software. Click Save All button to apply changes to your SD card. Select MBR partition style. Now your SD card will be readable by the computer, so we can now copy the ROM files into the SD card. Next, open the zip file of the game downloaded. Check the file extension of the ROM file. This will let us know the appropriate folder and emulator to run the ROM file. In my case, the file extension is MD, which means I will copy the game into the MD folder. Yours might be different, so check your file extension so that you can know the correct folder to copy the ROM file. Next, rename the picture to match exactly the name of the ROM file. You can copy and paste the name so you don't make mistake. Next, open any existing image in the folder you will copy your ROM files to. Check the image resolution. In my case, the resolution of the image is 320 by 224 pixels, so I have to resize my image to match exactly this resolution. You can use any image editor of your choice to resize the image to match the existing image size. Note that your own image size might be different, so make sure to match your own image size. Next, open any existing ROM zip file in the same folder on your SD card and check the file extension of the file inside the zip file. If the file extension is the same as the one you downloaded, then you should leave it, but if it is different, you need to rename the file extension of the downloaded file to match the existing one on your SD card. In my case, the downloaded file has MD extension, while the one on the SD card has .bin extension, so I need to rename the downloaded ROM file from MD to bin. Open the downloaded file with WinRAR software and rename the extension to the correct extension. In my case, I will rename to bin. Next, copy both zip and image file downloaded into the correct ROM folder on your SD card. You can also verify using Disk Genius to ensure both files has been copied to the SD card. Once that is done, the first step has been completed. Now, the second step. We need to update the game list database to include the new game we added to the list. If you skip this step, your game will not show up on the game list, so it is important to complete this step. First, open Disk Genius software, locate the second ext partition on your SD card, open the res folder and locate the game list database file. Right-click on this file and copy it to your desktop. Open DB browser software. I will put the download link in the description box below. Drag and drop the database file into the software. Go to the Browse Data tab and you will see the list of games already existing on your Gamestick. What we want to do now is to add the name of the game we downloaded to the list. But before we do that, we need to figure out the class the game belongs to, the emulator type, and also the image encoded name. To do this, go back to your SD card folder where you copied your file, pick any game, then search for the game inside the database. For me, I will pick Zombie Neighbor, so I will search for Zombie Neighbor in the database. There might be multiple search results. Make sure the ROM base name matches the name of the game you searched for. When found, take note of the class type, the emulator type, and the image encoded name. This is because the game downloaded will also use this information. In my case, the class type is 5 and the emulator type is 2, then I also copy the image encoded name to use later. After obtaining all the information needed, clear the filter and click the Insert Record button. This will create a new record for us which we need to fill with the correct information. For the ID, impute the number following the last number on the row. In my case, the last number is 20,904, then I will impute 20,905. For the ROM base name, copy the name of the downloaded file and paste it into the column. Note that I did not include the .zip part, I copied only the file name. For the suffix, put the file extension, in my case it is .zip. For the English name, you can put any name you want. For me, I will put the game name without the languages in the brackets. For the Chinese name, you can copy any Chinese name and put in the column. Also copy the Chinese match for the Chinese name you used and paste it into the Chinese match column. Next, put the class type, emulator type, and image information we obtained in previous steps into their appropriate column. When the process is complete, you can search for the name of the game to be sure it has been entered into the database. Once confirmed, click Close Database and select Yes to save the information. Next, we need to put the updated database into the Gamestick SD card and delete the old one. Open Disk Genius and go back to the res folder containing the database, right-click on the database and select Delete. Once deleted, right-click again and copy the newly updated database from your desktop folder into the res folder of the SD card. Once this process is complete, we need to restore the bootloader back to the SD card. Without the bootloader, the Gamestick will not boot. So go back to the Gamestick 4K software, go to Disk Bootloader, make sure the correct drive letter is selected. From the Restore Bootloader section, click the Browse button to select the bootloader file we previously backed up, then click the Restore button to restore the bootloader to the SD card. Once the restore completes, your SD card will become unreadable by the computer. You can confirm this by opening Disk Genius software, and you will notice the SD card is now unreadable by the computer. Once you complete this process, you can now insert your SD card into the Gamestick and play the new game. So let's put the SD card into the Gamestick and search for the new game. I'll go to All Games. Remember, the game is added to the last list, so I go to the last list. There it is, matching the same ID in the database and the same image. Now, let's try to load the game and see. It works. And that's it, guys. With this, you can now add games to your Gamestick as you want. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe to this channel and share this video. Thanks for watching.